Spider-Man No Way Home is the biggest movie ever. It managed to break $1 billion without a China release, in the middle of a pandemic. Do I really need to explain how crazy that is? Given the circumstances, it's a pretty safe bet that this would be the highest grossing movie of all time if everything were normal. According to IMDb, this is the 8th greatest movie ever made. That's hilarious to me. It's right above Pulp Fiction and right under Lord of the Rings Return of the King, and it's barely been out a month. Anyway, let's talk about it. It was pretty silly, but I loved it. I have seen the movie 3 times now, and I want to see it again. It's by far the best Spider-Man movie since Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. Yes, I liked it more than Into the Spider-Verse, even though I do love that one. I'm very critical about these comic book movies, just because there's so many, and they're all kind of becoming the same thing. Like, I've also recently watched Black Widow and The Eternals, but those 2 movies were so fucking bad and generic, I literally just didn't want to talk about them. I didn't even watch that other Marvel movie that came out last year, the one that was pandering to China. This did not feel like a generic Marvel movie. There was definitely something special here. The writers were like, we know what the fans want, and we're gonna give them exactly that. It's easily my favorite Tom Holland Spider-Man movie. I would actually consider this to be my favorite MCU movie. Not a single one has stuck with me this long. If you've seen my other reviews, you'll know I like the other John Watts Spider-Man movies. They just aren't nearly as good as the Sam Raimi ones to me. Those first 2 Raimi movies are incredible. From the music to the cinematography, it was just so creative and so much fun. The John Watts movies have none of that. The music is forgettable, and the cinematography is non-existent. Every scene is filmed the same way. It's just shot, reverse shot, and it's just so visually boring. And that's why I'm really shocked to say that the cinematography is one of my favorite parts in Spider-Man No Way Home. It's like John Watts did his homework over how to make a movie. Many shots of this thing stand out in my mind, and there's even like a 2 to 3 minute long one-shot towards the beginning of the movie. I was like, oh shit, this is awesome. Also, the music, I loved it. Especially whatever theme they played whenever Electro shows up, it was amazing. All of the acting was pretty great. Tom Holland gives his best performance yet, expressing a lot of emotion, and it's wonderful to finally see that from him. Another issue that I had with the other 2 John Watts films was the fact that Peter felt like a mixture of Spider-Boy mixed with Iron Man Jr. He never felt like Spider-Man. In this movie, I never felt Iron Man Jr. In fact, the whole movie felt like his transition from Spider-Boy into Spider-Man. And I love that. It's like, finally. Alfred Molina as Dr. Octopus was awesome. The performance felt just like the original character, and the de-aging was nearly flawless. Except for this shot. Why the fuck does he look like Larry David? Is that just me? Willem Dafoe gives the best performance in the whole movie. Big surprise there. The man's just perfect. Even Jamie Foxx as Electro was pretty good. Much better than the Amazing Spider-Man 2 crap. Now, there's not much left to say about this movie without spoiling it, so if you do not want spoilers, please skip to this part in the video. I'm sure you've had it spoiled by now if you haven't seen the movie, but still, skip ahead. You gone yet? Okay, good. I'm not gonna lie, when Andrew Garfield stepped on screen, I cheered with everybody else in my audience. Same goes for Tobey Maguire. There were a few moments that got a genuine emotion from me, and this might be the best movie theater experience I've ever had. The way these characters now have closure is incredible. Andrew getting to save MJ from the fall was very satisfying and heartfelt. But what was even more satisfying to me was seeing Tobey get to save Willem Dafoe from the glider that killed him in the first movie. It's just great writing and a good subtle callback. Oh yeah, Andrew Garfield, easily the best character of the whole thing. He gives such a good performance in No Way Home that it makes me think that if he weren't cast in such shitty movies, he could maybe even be the best live action Spider-Man. I'm not even kidding, he stole the entire show for me. I could have easily watched the 3 Peters stand around and talk for the entire movie and been perfectly happy. I do like the ending, even though it created some plot holes. So at the end, Doctor Strange erases everyone's memory of Peter Parker. That makes sense. When Peter visits MJ, she still has the scars from the final battle. Also, Aunt May is still dead. This to me is proof that the memory loss thing didn't change anything that happened in the past. It just wiped their memories of Peter. Makes sense? So why can't they just re-watch news footage from the day before? What about Mysterio's tape? Is that just not a thing anymore? And all the pictures and videos that his friends have with him, are they just gone? What about all the nudes of him that are probably on MJ's phone? What happened to those? It's not really explained. Also, the Sandman and Lizard were not well utilized here at all. I'm pretty sure the shots you get of them not as the Lizard or made of sand were unused clips from their original movies. To me, that's just lazy. If you can't get the actor on set, why bother including the character at all? It was really distracting, and I'm not gonna lie, it took me out of the movie. I am glad Doctor Strange didn't steal a bunch of the runtime. The scene where he and Spider-Man fought was really fucking cool. I knew I loved it the first time I saw it, but on my second viewing, I went in with my critical lenses on so I could give the movie a fair review. And what do you know? I liked it even more. It is just a treasure, and to experience it in a theater, surrounded by people that probably also experienced the original movie in theaters as a kid like I did, was something very special. I'm gonna give Spider-Man No Way Home a very high 8 out of 10. Ah, fuck it. Let's rank the Spider-Man movies. Venom included? Yeah, why not? In last place is The Amazing Spider-Man 2. Number 10 is Venom 2, Look Out, There's a Carnage. Number 9 is Venom. Number 8 is The Amazing Spider-Man 1. Number 7 would be Spider-Man Far From Home. Number 6 is Spider-Man 3. I know people hate this one. I do not. Number 5 is Spider-Man Homecoming. Number 4 is Into the Spider-Verse. Number 3 is Spider-Man No Way Home. Number 2 is the OG Spider-Man. And my favorite is still Sam Raimi's Spider-Man 2. I absolutely love that this movie exists, and I legitimately cannot wait to see where they go from here. Thank you, bye-bye.